All right, welcome. My name is James Watts. I'd be giving you an overview today of our modeling process in Revit. So I'm going to use this project here, SMU Oakland, as an example. So the way that we build these models is we start off with some base geometry, which in our case would be walls. So as you can see here, this model is essentially built up by a bunch of separate walls. And within these walls, what we do is we drop grids in. And within those grids, they break up these walls into curtain panels. And then what we do is we swap out those curtain panels for units. So much like we build them in our shops, we have specific family names and specific families for the types of units that we'll have. So this one, for example, is a 2-light unit. So it's 2 lights of glass, which varies from our 3-light unit, which has 3 lights of glass. So each one of these is a separate family. And what we've done is we've built out all the different types of families we could have within our project. So, for example, here, where we have a door family, we have a 3-light door with 3 lights in here. But then this, for example, has a little side light. So this is a unique family with a side light condition and a door infill on the right. So what we're able to do with these units, as you can see, is we're able to set their mullion members. So these are all project specific. They change with each project. So what we're able to do is swap out, let's say, the top mullion for whatever kinds of top mullion families we have on the project. So this allows us to go ahead, place whatever kind of glass infills we have, or things like louvers, or for example, right here, a door. So we're able to swap out the infills with the infill types that we have, run these frames out so that we're able to get all the correct glass fights associated with these units. What we're also able to do is add things like embeds. So down here, you can see these units come with these steel tube embeds, and these embeds are linked into the model, and we're able to swap them out and switch them with whatever kind of embeds are on this project. So right now we have an FE21 attached to these, but as you can see, as we make our way up, these here are attached at the floor line. So these have embeds with mat clips attached to them. And then we're able to do things like add tubes, as you can see here, for jam conditions. We're able to switch out those embeds for even more project specific ones. Like here you can see we have an elbow anchor attached to this unit. And we also have things like back pans or shadow boxes that can be turned on and off within the unit. So within these units, we're also able to do things like add jockey sashes, which you see in this bright red here. So as you can see over on the left side here, I have a jockey sash. So we're able to add all the parts and pieces that we need for takeoff within the unit themselves. So nothing is separated and everything gets carried along with the unit. So let's take a look at how we actually go about modeling one of these. So for this, I'm going to take this elevation as a little sample. So I'm going to go up to the 10th level here. And I'm just going to try and recreate this wall here. Isolate that. We draw some reference planes. Draw a wall. So we'll specify the wall type. Let's just say CW01, curtain wall 01. Go from the bottom to the top. Something like that. In there. Okay, looks perfect. Now I'm going to come to my front view. You can see, so I have this wall out in front of the condition we'll be copying here. To make this just a little bit easier to see, isolate these. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is, since this wall is at a specified height, I'm just going to go ahead and match properties. I'm going to match this one to this one. So we got the correct height now. Next thing I would do is go ahead and drop in curtain grids. I'm going to go drop in one. I'm going to align it with the curtain grid that I have back there. We'll see what the spacing is. I believe it's 4 feet, but just to be sure, let's check the unit width right here, 4 feet. Okay. I'm going to copy this over 4 feet, another 4 feet, and then 4 feet, 4 feet, 4 feet. So now what I would do is, since these are all 2 light units, except this middle bit, we go ahead and grab the wall, select all these panels. So as you can see here, we have system panels glaze. I'm going to deselect the middle one because I know that's a unique type of family. And I'm going to go ahead and switch this out for our 2 light unit. So you're going to see it come in here, plain and simple, without any kind of project specific conditions or heights specified. So you can see the horizontals come in at a standard 2 foot. We have these mat clips, but they're kind of they're placed kind of irregularly right now, just not exactly where they're supposed to be. So what you're able to do is, as you can see in this model here, I'm just going to take a little snip. So you can see we have specified families for all the metal on this unit. And we also have specified glass types. And we have specified anchor offsets, anchor types, anchor heights. So everything here, top of horizontal, all of these have been specified per the project. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I can recreate this back here. So when I go into this family, what I'm trying to try and do is I'm just swapping everything. So let's try and get this on a little bit of a better layout. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and swap out our generic head alias with a UW75 3165 005. I'm going to change our horizontal to the 2126 003. And I'm just going to go down the line. 3. The left is an outside corner, so you'll see that visually change. The right kind of vertical in there. And then I'm going to set this horizontal height. So as you can see, I have a lot of control over this unit right now. I can add an anchor into the bottom right. See, it gets dropped in. It's not at the correct height, but I can fix that. So -2 1/8. You can see the offset sort of off here. So I'm going to fix that. 4/8. And so on and so forth. So it's missing a sill track here. So I'm going to go ahead and add this sill track that we have on this family is W75 1178 001. 1178 001. 50. Sill track to the bottom, and you'll see now it's in the correct location. So what I'm actually going to do, just speed this up, is just do a match properties. So I'm going to take all the properties from this guy, throw them on here, same over here, here. And then as you can see, I can just do this with a door as well. So that. Nice and easy. so on. Nice. So now once we're at this stage, as you can see on these back units, we have things like parapets. So the parapets work in the same way as the units do. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this wall. I'm going to paste it to the same place. I'm going to match properties with the curtain, with the parapet, with one of these walls here. Type, replace panels. So as you can see, we have this on the lower roof. So I just need to set this level to lower roof. And then now, just like with our units, I can go ahead and select this, select panels on host, and then I can switch this out for any of our parapet types. So there's one type, and maybe the condition changes. I've made this for the guardrails that really wouldn't work here. Example, 505. But as you can see, our panel's working very much the same way. So we have all the joints that we can adjust ourselves. So make some big old 1-inch joints on these guys. You can change their shape to whatever you'd like. And then you're able to go ahead and set their elevations. And then you can go and you can even change these to like something other than the standard parapet that's in there now. Something even shallower and flat. So you get a lot of control. So this is the basic method for how we model this entire building. I'll show you kind of the overview again. And then as we get into metal panels, it's essentially the same process, but we're using different families that have separate parameters that obviously the units with glass do not need. So that's basic overview. I can show you kind of some things we're able to do with this. This is a kind of complex mitering situation at this canopy. So I was able to get this subtle little decline with a return leg and two separate miters on here. You can see the bottom looking all clean. We have the joints going in nicely. Up at this level, we were able to add in like 2 different mat clips because we actually have a piece of steel running vertically that's being provided by the contractor. So we're able to add all the parts and pieces to our units, swap out everything for project specific families and details. And then we're able to model in things such as this, where we have a Mac box cover at certain levels. So I'll show you that area right now. So if you look here, what we were seeing in that detail with the metal panel covering our steel max, I've modeled in to Revit exactly like I was shown in our detail. So now our model matches our details. Our model is the key source of information. Thank you.